a great win for us. Score 40 points on Virginia. That's, a heck of a thing to do in the first half. I just thought our guys came out really ready to play. The defense was terrific. And then, typically against Virginia, you have to call a lot. You have to call your actions because you have to be organized and together. But I thought we did such a good job of flowing into offense and driving downhill, making the right reads. Hey, coach, how you doing? And then good things happened from that. We just kept our foot on the gas. But a lot of respect for them, their program, Tony as a coach, and to beat those guys is a great thing. And we know it's such a quick turnaround, so we're going to enjoy this for a few more minutes, and then we're going to move on very quickly. So I'll take any questions.
Hey, John, tremendous defense. Was that the game plan? It looked like you had those guys locked up in the first half.
Well, look, I don't know if you feel you can hold them to 18 points, but we just played against them or against anybody, but especially when it's low possession, you have to just play every possession. You got to compete every possession, and we did that. I thought the bench came off with great energy, and we just kept coming at them, and that's what you need to do. And I thought especially everybody played well and did good things. But especially the four returners, Mark, Flip, Tyrese, and Jeremy, they just had a great pop to them. And, Flip, when he's that way, I don't think there's anybody like that in the country. And, Tyrese was just in complete control tonight, just driving, shooting, playmaking, competing, defending. I just thought it was they set the tone for our entire team, those four guys.
John, it seems like games against Virginia so often hinge on who can impose their tempo on the other team. Duke was able to really speed them up from the very beginning of the game. Can you talk about that as part of your game plan and how your team executed it?
I don't know if you can ever really speed them up, but if you get stops, we always want to look to push in transition. That's something that we look to do no matter who we're playing. And tonight we could do it because we did a good job on defense. I thought Mark, Flip, and then Sean really had some big time plays protecting our basket. And, them doing, like Mark had a bunch of them. And when they do that, it's going to lead to runouts. And that's where I thought our decision making was really good, our shooting, and then really attacking the basket is probably the best we've done that here recently.
John, you guys had, I think, 44 points in the paint, 28 in the first half. That's the most Virginia's given up all year, and far more than they normally do. What did you like about the way you guys were attacking the paint specifically to sort of set the tone against their defense?
I thought it definitely started, Aaron, with the downhill drives. It sounds simple, but they do a great job guarding one-on-one. They do a good job, making you play through resistance. And you have to, when you have opportunities, after movement or in transition or from closeouts, when you have the opportunity, you got to drive downhill. And Flip probably did the best job right away. Tyrese had a few drives. I thought Jeremy was very patient. What can happen with our team, I think we have good firepower, right? And so all of a sudden, Jeremy and Jared didn't even score in the beginning. And just Jeremy was really patient, Jared too. For us to score 73 against him with those two guys not even scoring in double digits, that's really good. But you have to get downhill, and I thought we did that tonight.
John, hey, obviously you guys would rather have Caleb and hope he's back soon, but how do you feel like the team's role definition has continued to grow? And you mentioned the pop from the four returners, the bench. How do you feel like they've continued improving in that capacity?
Yeah, and look, there's no replacing Caleb by any means, but we've learned this year and last year throughout the season, you just have to step up. And I think there's so much where, I've said this to you guys before, but everybody expects it to be instant, minutes, scoring, production for freshmen. And we've had more freshmen be successful here than anywhere. And, I'll just use TJ as an example. Like TJ has just been the same every day. He works every single day. He has a routine he does with our strength coach after practice. He has a routine that he does with Coach Dilby every day. And so for TJ, when he's in, he spaces, he doesn't over dribble, he competes on defense, he's an active body, and those other guys are better because of him. Same thing with Sean. You know, Sean is just, he works all the time. You know, he just has great pop. He's still learning the game, and thought both those guys just gave us a great lift. So it puts Tyrese and Jeremy, Jared, all those guys, you know, our main guys who we want the ball in their hands. I think they make those guys better. Ryan obviously does that. Jalen has done that. You know, those guys off the bench have done a great job of just playing to their strengths.
It's probably too early for Caleb on Monday. Do you see him coming back before the end of the regular season?
Yeah, there's no way for Monday, and I think it's highly unlikely anytime soon. You know, we're going to keep taking it week to week and continue to evaluate, but he's not out of that boot. He's not able to do anything. It's going to be some time still.
You guys obviously have great defensive personnel, very switchy, but against UVA, when they're doing that inside motion, inside triangle stuff, it's a lot of off-ball switches. It's a different kind of, it's not a pick, it's not ball screen. How would you evaluate the communication effort today? Because it's sort of like a different scheme to go up against from your defense.
Overall, good. Our guys, I don't know why they were surprised. Like they kept saying they couldn't hear each other. I think I'm going to blame Cameron and all the fans. And I thought the environment was electric. You know, I thought the crowd was incredible, and that helped us as well. But you have to not just talk switches, you have to command them. And off ball is just, we haven't played anybody else that really does that. You know, their inside motion that they do. Same thing, their twirl motion that they run. And overall, I thought we did a good job. In the second half, there's some slippage, but also they're smart. So they do a good job slipping screens. They do a good job not coming together. And so unorthodox, when they hit the post, they're getting splits and cuts from there. And they got us a few times on that. But overall, we did a good job because it's not easy to defend.